Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And of course, good morning, mini Motorways. Let's go to Mexico City for today's daily challenge. We will start with 4 roundabouts, and also buildings will appear directly adjacent to our destinations, which is fine. Is good. Listen, what's that called? That's high density. That's what that's called. High density is always it's dicey. It can be nice. It can be like, super short and all of that. Hulkamat is here. Hulkamat was here first. Hulkamat's mom is retiring. The party is today, and I, the _Goog, will celebrate by having the perfect endless run of mini Motorways. Maybe. Probably not. I do have a heart out, but it's at like 8:30, so I don't think there's going to be a problem. Oh, congratulations to Hulka Mom. A lovely individual. I have had the chance to meet her. She is fine and good person. Congratulations on retirement. We'll take these, we'll just do this pink up here and this pink here, and we'll just have this little cut corner there. It'll be fine. This is all going to work itself out. Eventually, one of those will go circular. We'll need to make a decision, but that's a problem for future me. We'll take a tunnel. I don't think we'll be taking roundabouts today. We're going to use, I imagine, at least one of those roundabouts, but I don't think we're going to use 4. I think if you're using 4 roundabouts in a map, you need to work on your 1B, 1R skills. But, that's just me. Maybe I'm built different. These greens will come over here. We'll slide this green down to this path so that we have 2 going this way, 2 going that way. Could also do something with this green sliding along here, but no. No, I think we are okay. Ooh. You remember what we were saying about high density and how it leads to some weird stuff sometimes? Well, hey, look, some weird stuff. Actually, this pink being right here is a bit of an issue worry, now that I think about it, because there's no great... We're going to have to drop a roundabout right here, actually. We're going to have to do a roundabout there. There's not a great way to do this. Let's slide the greens in like so. This purple can come in here, grab that purple road, but there's no way to get into this purple business that doesn't interfere with the pink road somehow. So, I think what we're going to have to do is toss a pink up that way, and then toss the purples in like so. They'll come into this roundabout and sort themselves out thusly. I don't necessarily love this, just because, the more frequently used pink is right here. Hold on, I might be able to finagle this a little bit differently. If we do that instead, right? If I do it this way, obviously there's still a pink house whose cars can spawn on this purple road, but the more commonly used pink getting over here is this one. This now has its own dedicated driveway, basically. Give me another tunnel. Yeah, this has its own dedicated driveway, so it's not going to slow down the purple cars driving by its door, meaning that the only real conflict area is in the roundabout, and you saw that happen right there. And listen, anytime there's any overlap in your roads whatsoever, there's gonna be conflict eventually. This is why it's so damned important to maintain 1B, 1R. But, we do what we can. It'll be fine. Probably. Maybe. Hopefully. Speaking of fine, let's see here. If we do that and this, we have 4 greens going into this circle, and then we just slide this green down like so, and 1, 2 greens can work their way over to this business. And that should, broadly speaking, be fine. That should be okay for a minute, or 6. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, stretch and yawn. Oh, we'll shake it up, baby. Shake it up, baby, now. Stretch and yawn. No. But those are things you do super early in the AM, which it basically is. This whole waking up thing is highly overrated. I realize you gotta do it in order to keep living, but, like, it would be awesome if there was just a way to sleep for 14 hours in the span of, like, 6 hours. That would be nice. Science ought to get on that. Seems like it would be a popular advancement. Alright, rather than use our one and only one motorway, I'm going to use one of our 2 tunnels to bring these yellows down like so. That's going to be basically fine. These pinks... Uh-oh. Huh. So these pinks are going to want to get into this. There's no great way to do that right now. Hold on. I have an idea. I think rather than complicate this with a roundabout, the simplest thing we can do is just remove the purples from the equation. If I do this, then I have 5 pink houses on one single road going into this pink business. And then we take motorway number 1 and create, well, I can't do that yet because there's the remnants of the roundabout are here. So as soon as this purple gets out of here and goes off on its merry way, off goes the roundabout. Now we drop motorway number 1 just like that. Okay. So these purples are going to straight shot motorway into this business. These 5 pinks are going to take care of this pink circle, and that should be pretty much fine for pretty much ever. Maybe not actually fine, maybe not literally forever, but pretty much fine for pretty much ever. Also, having successfully done that, give me 40 road tiles. Having done that, I can actually cut this yellow situation a little bit closer. We don't need... basically what I can do is save myself a singular, just save a road tile on the outskirt here. And that's going to, make the road more efficient, both in terms of asset allocation and passenger delivery time. So good thing we've just done there. The purple business seeing the interstate built just for them. Yes! Hulkmat, are you saying that these purples are just road sickos? Did you set that up specifically so that I would make road sickos the title of the episode? Because, listen, it worked. It absolutely worked. Sicko is a wonderful word. Road sickos is 1000% the title of the episode. We are road sickos in the same way that Tony Khan says that he books wrestling for wrestling sickos, which is, listen, a good thing and an excuse for me to talk about All Elite Wrestling, Dynamite, which is a wrestling program that was for a good, let's say 87.4% of its airtime last night. Really good. I would say that 87.4% of last night's episode of Dynamite was really, 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 really good. A significant chunk of the remaining 12.6%, it must be noted, was devoted to the continuing adventures of Christopher Daniels and the worst angle ever. It's not actually the worst angle ever, but I must continue to point out that this whole Christopher Daniels is the babyface authority thing. There are 2 distinct problems that I have with this angle. First of all, before we talk about that, we've got to figure out a way to deal with these purples. Specifically, we need to get purples down to this purple business. And I think the way we're going to do that is we're actually going to extend the yellow road again. We're going to extend the yellow road so that I can give the purple road, I can give this road to the purples, right? these two purples are going to come into here. These yellows are going to come out this way and go up there. So these three yellows are going to take a bit of a long trip and eventually get over that away. These two purples are going to, okay, that's going to be fine. So I have two distinct problems with the whole Christopher Daniels is the interim executive vice president to serve as a babyface counterfoil to the authority figure elite and book matches that the fans want to see and all of that. I have two distinct problems with that angle. One, as a concept, that character is bad. Nobody actually likes that character. That character is not a character that's going to get over, and it's dumb and bad when WWE does it, and WWE fans are much more forgiving of the hokey bullshit that is necessary to such an angle than All Elite Wrestling fans are. All Elite Wrestling, one may recall, was built on the premise that it had all the shit you like about professional wrestling and with less of the hokey bullshit. The very concept of the angle fits pretty strongly in with hokey bullshit. Secondly, and this is independent of the concept, right? Independent of the concept, Christopher Daniels sucks in that role. He has been so bad at it. Like, it's good and fine and whatever that he's on television still. I don't really know why. Like, he seems like a nice enough fella. I've never heard anything terrible about Christopher Daniels as a dude. I don't want to come off like I'm insulting him as a dude. I thought he was perfectly fine in the role he had for the first, 5 years of AEW's existence, which was guy who doesn't show up on TV that often, but when he does, you want to see him win, even though he doesn't usually. I thought he was fine at that. I think he's less fine at what he's doing now. I think, in fact, he's bad at it. I think, perhaps, he should stop doing it, because he's bad at it, and it makes television bad. You don't want to make television that's bad. Anyway. Let's see here. So, this circle would be just fine with 4, and I'm about to rob a couple houses from this business way over here. So we're going to pull this house back off away from here. We're going to sever that connection. These two beiges are going to go in there. That's going to be fine. Hulkamat correctly states that, well, I suppose Christopher Daniels is an interim executive vice president, which means that ostensibly he's filling in for Kenny Omega. In order for the fans to buy that, they have to, 1, believe that Kenny Omega was doing any true executive work in the company, which, well, I mean, AEW Fight Forever is available for free on PlayStation Plus this month. And listen, free is a very good price point for AEW Fight Forever. We've played AEW Fight Forever on the channel. It's a good video game. It has the core of an excellent wrestling game. It is also not a $70 video game. And it was sold as I recall, a $60 video game. That it has several pieces of DLC, which, if you were to buy them all, makes it like a $119 video game. And it's not a $119 video game. It's just not. One could successfully argue that there is no such thing as a $119 video game. But if there was, All Elite Wrestling : Fight Forever would not be it. It's not it. So in order to buy that there is a need for a Christopher Daniels-like character, you have to believe that Kenny Omega was doing anything, which the television program hasn't exactly sold us on that. Hulkamat, you should absolutely, if you have PlayStation Plus, it's free. It costs $0. It is your video game now, in so much as any digital video game is ever yours. But yeah, you should download it if it costs $0, which it currently does if you're already playing for PlayStation Plus. It's a bit like the quote-unquote free Twitch subscription you get if you have Amazon Prime. Yeah, it costs you $0, but there's 0 additional dollars. That having been said, there are additional dollars on top of dollars you're probably already spending. So, I digress. What we're going to do here is we're going to replace this ridiculously long, windy yellow road with a much shorter, simpler, safer, these two cars just go up this way road. And these two cars just go up this way road goes in that way. So we're going to replace this. We're going to get a tunnel back. That's going to be lovely. We're going to toss this yellow house back onto this yellow road. I'm a big fan of the aesthetics of a road that looks like this. These 5 houses all in nice little slanty rows. It looks like a little comb. It's an awesome paved comb of asphalt. Man, awesome paved comb of asphalt is entirely too good to not be the title of the episode, but we already decided that Road Sickos is the title of the episode. So, what are you going to do? Speaking of what you're going to do, we're going to take these beiges and redistribute them because we have more beiges with which to play. Let's toss these 2 up here. They'll be 5 and 6 going in this way. And then these 3 beiges right here will go voop and voosh, and they will go up that away into this beige business. Okay. Off we go. So it's kind of ridiculous that there's even the character that Christopher Daniels is portraying. Like, there's no need for that role. Additionally, on top of it, Christopher Daniels is bad at that character. And then, on top of everything else, there's just, like, AEW seems to have decided that the way to get the Christopher Daniels character over is to have it be on television a lot. Like, last week on Dynamite, Christopher Daniels was in 4 segments and he made all of them worse. And last night on Dynamite, Christopher Daniels was in at least 2 segments. I think he was in 3 segments and he made all of them worse. There was no need for Christopher Daniels in any position that he was in. The booking decisions that they make as a result of justifying the Christopher Daniels character's existence are also bad. It's just not good. I made a tweet, and I stand by this tweet so much that I will repeat the tweet verbatim now. The best time to abandon a terribly doomed, ill-conceived authority figure angle is before it makes television. The second best time is now. And listen, it would probably be bad if Christopher Daniels was just never seen on television ever again and you didn't mention it. What would be better, or at least quicker, is if next week on Dynamite, Christopher Daniels comes out to overrule some stupid thing the Elite want to do, and then the Elite just beat the shit out of him. Like, you've established in character that the Elite can beat the shit out of Tony Khan, who is literally the owner, president, CEO of the company, and face, apparently, 0 repercussions. It is therefore believable that they could beat the shit out of Christopher Daniels, a professional wrestler moonlighting in an interim role as an executive in the same company where you can beat the shit out of the owner for no reason and get away with it. You could beat the shit out of Christopher Daniels, a thing that the Elite have done multiple times before. This is part of why this character doesn't work. You could beat the shit out of Christopher Daniels and be just fine. I think next week on Dynamite, the Elite should beat the shit out of Christopher Daniels. And then, going forward, we should not see Christopher Daniels. And when you need to make a match announcement or something that, the Elite aren't gonna like this, you can just say that Tony Khan did it. The way you've been running your company for 5 years beforehand, with no real problems. So what I've done here is I've just tossed a bunch of greens into a silly, ill-conceived roundabout because I noticed that this business over here was getting a little angry. So now we've doubled the green investment in this business. And because these are all the same color, it doesn't really matter that they're all going into a roundabout. It's basically fine. I do have traffic lights. I could play around with traffic lights. I don't wanna. Same situation here. I've got, well, I do have a motorway. I could use a motorway to get these greens over here, but with just a little simple tunnel thing. We do a simple little tunnel thing, and these three greens just whoosh right down into there. What was that onomatopoeia again, Goog? They just whoosh right down into there? That's what I thought I said. All right, let's take a third and fourth traffic light, I guess, rather than another bridge. That'll be fine. This yellow circle is now circular. That's basically okay. This green business here has suddenly become the most supported little green business. That's totally fine. These beiges come out this way. They go up over to here. Hulkamat also noted that it's kind of ridiculous for the Bucks and the Acclaimed to be building to a blood and guts match. The rivalry between the Young Bucks and the Acclaimed is not really worthy of a blood and guts match, and that's true. Blood and Guts has historically been AEW's, big, huge, these stables have been at war with each other for fucking forever, so we need them to fight and finish it off already match. And sometimes they actually do that. Other times it just builds other things. But hey, use thing to build thing. That makes sense. That's called professional wrestling booking. That's how you do this thing. So listen, a blood and guts match is not a bad idea in general, and it should be an excellent match because the Young Bucks are excellent wrestlers, and the Acclaimed are a very good wrestler, and Max Caster, who's at least fun. The Acclaimed are very good wrestlers. Billy Gunn might also be in the match, which would be worse. But anyway, honestly, the Acclaimed should just turn heel and side with the Bucks, but there are 85 dudes in the Elite already, so you probably shouldn't add an additional 3 dudes to the Elite, particularly if they're not as good as the dudes who are already in the Elite. This was the problem with the NWO way back in the day. This serves as all of the commentary I am prepared to give on the Vice television program Who Killed WCW. WCW killed WCW. It was very dumb. A lot of dumb people did a lot of dumb things. WCW. What are we going to do here? You know what we're going to do here? We've got these yellows that want to get over there. We've got purples coming in from every which way. Let's have ourselves a roundabout, shall we? So these yellows are going to come into here. These purples are going to go down that away. Everybody's going to wind up going northerly. And also, just for funskies, we're going to draw motorway number 2. We're going to have it come right down here. Motorway number 2 will also feed into that roundabout to get yet more purples going up this way. This should basically be fine. This isn't going to murder, wreck, or kill anything, I bet. Maybe. Potentially. It'll be okay. Please ignore the fact that there's already a massive backup at the end of the motorway. It's totally fine. Okay. Hi there, orange thing. You're an orange business thing. Don't necessarily love that, but there also doesn't appear to be much I can do about it. So I've got one orange house over here. I've got another orange house over there. Give me a tunnel. Thank you very much. Oh, I've got another orange house over here. Oh, will my bounty never cease? Let's see here. Let's take these 2 oranges like so and just toss them via motorway number 3 into the eastern end of this business. That's going to have to be fine for the moment. Would kind of... Ooh, yes. I was going to say I would rather do it up here, but I wanted there to be a third orange, and now there's a third orange. So now we can return these 2 to servicing this business. These 3 right here will motorway. These 4 right here. Thank you, Mini Motorways. These 4 right here will motorway number 3 themselves. These 5 right here. You spoil me, Mini Motorways. Oh, there was a reason for that, was there? Well, fine. That's still basically okay, actually. Yeah, it's basically fine. We've got all of these right here. Can I sneak a roundabout in, like, here-ishly? No? Nowhere? Okay. I could do one here. It seems kind of dumb, but actually, hold on. It might not actually be the dumbest thing I've ever done. What if we bop like that, and then bop like that, and we could even, if we wanted to... Oh, I have all of these pinks. I thought they were going somewhere. No, they're just kind of sitting here. Okay. So we bop like that, and then we send this up here, and this is basically just a Dunkin' Donuts plaza, because it's orange and pink. That's fine. We got this nice little Dunkin' Plaza. That's A-okay. All right, motorway number 3 needs to slide over to the western entrance of... Can you seriously not? Can you seriously not? Fuckers. All right, fine. We'll do it that way. Because there's no way in hell that I am not just taking these 5 purples that are right here and stapling them to the side of that business. That makes entirely too much sense. Oh, goodness. So we've gotten our requisite whining about Dynamite out of the way. It continues to be a mostly good wrestling program. Like I said, 87.6% of last night's episode of Dynamite was good, was really good. Main event, Will Ospreay, Rey Fenix kicked ass. Will Ospreay, Rey Fenix turns out really good at this whole wrestling thing. Turns out they're quite talented. Work well together. How about that? Who could have seen that coming? Man, if I ever think of something to do with these pinks, it is over for everyone who isn't pinks. It's not presently happening today or anything, but, you know, one day. One blessed, glorious day, we'll figure out what the hell we're doing with those pinks. Speaking of figuring out what the hell we're doing with something, this business over here is mad. So, that kind of tracks. These, I've got all of these pinks here, and I've got these mad pink businesses here, and I can't really see a way to unite them. Although, hold on. Wait, I might be onto something. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so if we boop, and we boop, and we boop, and we boop and boop and boop. So now all of these pinks are going this way, right? And then they come up this way. Well, first of all, a thing that I could very easily do is run those oranges there, and then just take some of these pinks, not even necessarily all of these pinks, but some of these pinks can go off this way, and they go into this roundabout, and they service this business. That'll be good. The rest of these pinks, these 4 pinks here, can tunnel this way, get over there, and then slide in like here. Having successfully slid in like there, they can then go and support that circle. Doing all of this allows me to pull an additional house away from this road onto this road, which will service this business, which is going to immediately calm down and be fine. Like, the only reason this was upset in the first place is that it had literally one house. And eventually, no matter how much you try, you can't get away with having literally one house. Now, further problems. Okay. Further problems. Son of an bitch. Okay. So, you're going to have to pull out of there. You're going to have to pull down here. Boop, 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 and boop. That means that we only have 2 yellows coming around here, but we still have all of these yellows up here. I think all of these yellows up here are just going to do more of the work supporting this business, and it's actually going to be fine. Okay. You 2 purples need to get involved. You can join your motorway friend going down that way. Speaking of motorway friends, hey, look, a motorway friend. Okay, now, this orange business is mad. This orange business exists. Neither of those are things I support, but, you know, I only get so much of a say in these things. Can you get to the east? Okay, so you can get to the western entrance there. That's wonderful. If you can get to the western entrance there, that means that you 3 are now in charge of this. You 4 are now in charge of this. I trust that you will straighten your shit out. All y'all get your shit straightened out. We're up over 3,000 trips now, which is good. This orange business has calmed down, which is better. This yellow business is mad, which does make sense given that I just screwed it out of dudes. What if we reduded that way? We reduded that way specifically just to get an additional yellow into this clusterfuck. One additional yellow for this fuck cluster is not the worst thing in the world. I really wish I had an easy way to connect the rest of these yellows, but this is the southern extreme of the map, so actually, what I could do, and this may not be scientifically recommended, kids don't try this at home, I could just do that. It's going to be a little bit of, no, I shouldn't actually do that for reasons that we just saw. These beiges here would want to support this beige here. Yeah, no, we don't want that. We absolutely don't want that. Okay, give me a roundabout. Given that I just used my last roundabout. Boop, 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 and boop. This yellow slithers its way up that way, supports in this manner. Okay, how are we doing on time? It is 7:30. We're okay. This beige, I can't connect to anything. These pinks are going up there. Those pinks are going over here. This purple is mad, which is not necessarily something I endorse. But eventually, actually, it's not a problem of dudes, because we've got cars and driveways here and here and here and here. So the problem isn't dudes. The problem is just parking spaces and pull-throughs, because this is just a double plaza with two circles. If you have a double plaza with two circles, you inevitably, invariably are doomed. There is just nothing a person can do about a double plaza with two circles after a certain point. So we're going to have to forgive ourselves for the fact that this is inevitably going to die. Now, this beige business over here, however, that beige business over there need not be so fucked, I think. I think what we can do is help it, actually. And we can help it in this manner. We can take these three beiges, which had previously been dedicated to this business, toss them into this roundabout and have them go over this way. These two beiges can come instead like so and get in there. Give me another motorway. How best might I deploy a motorway? Okay. This yellow business is mad. And I don't really understand why, unless it's just yellow's rush hour. It could be everything's rush hour, because we are, after all, at 4,300 trips. It could just be time for everything to die. If it's just time for everything to die, there's very little I can actually do. So this pink business is mad. You know what? Let's save this pink business. This pink business, we can move these two pink houses over here. That'll support this. We can kill this road, which will free up something for the future. And then we have this little hunk of four pinks right here. They can get motorway number 5, swing out like so, and go sustain that business for a minute. Okay. Listen, everywhere I look, things are getting angry, so it's probably just doom time. If it's just doom time, there's nothing I can really do. I think it's just doom time. Everybody loves doom time, the doomest of all times. A silly little doom that loves milkshakes. Yeah, I think it's just doom time. Everywhere I look, there's a business on fire. This double plaza's in flames. This green thing is fucked. This beige thing rather is dead. So that's that, I suppose. But still, 4761 feels like a really good score. I feel like we got about as much out of that as I possibly could have. Top 2% in the world, and triumph and glory and victory over Samurai Sam. Drop those GGs in the chat if, by chance, you should happen to possess them. While we switch over to the Wordle, I want to thank today's monkey for the follow. You are the primate of Thursday, today's monkey. Thank you very much for the follow. Came in while we were off stream with that. It's not today, but it could be after for the Wordle. It's not, but, you know, it can't be attic because the T is not the third letter. Can't be antic for the same reasons. It could be atpus. Now, granted, that's not a word, but it could be like atlas. Could absolutely be atlas, aside from all of the recently discovered good reasons that it's not actually atlas. But we didn't know those at the time, okay? It could be, no, it can't be asset because we know there's no E. It can't be Aston because there's no, the T is not the third letter. It can't be shit. It probably can't be, you know, it's what happens when a bird craps on your lawn. It's all a shit. Your lawn is probably not the worst place for a bird to crap, come to think of it. Could be your patio, your walkway, your car, your face, your child. All of those would be worse places for a bird to shit than your lawn. But I digress. What about... Keep thinking of words that aren't words, like a spit. No, I don't think it's a spit. But what about a smut? A singular item of pornography. A smut. No? Okay. It's probably for the best. Well, let's see here. We could just pull together. It's a little bit late in the game for the whole here's 5 characters that we haven't used yet thing. It's a little bit late for that. And yet, what if we combine that with a guess as to where the T is? You see? This is a very good thing that I've done, because now I know that the Wordle is angst. That was a very good and smart thing that I did, or at least the idea was decent and then the execution was flawless. It was basically the exact opposite of the Christopher Daniels thing. Angst is Dutch for fear. Angst is also nervous person English for fear. So, angst is a good word. Let us make connections. Smash that like button, connections. You know what? All right. I'm not going to complain. Do it. Listen to the New York Times. People of YouTube, smash that like button. Also that subscribe button. It's cheaper to subscribe on YouTube than it is to Twitch because words mean different things in different places. Anyway, Sonny likes pointing out Dutch words in English that aren't apartheid. I'm pretty sure, don't hold me to this because I don't know everything, but I'm pretty sure that every other word that English has stolen from Dutch means a better thing than apartheid. I'm pretty sure about that. So, we could smash that like button. That's a thing that we could do. We're not going to, but so if you smash, you hit, nope. Okay. Well, actually, something could be a smash hit, and that makes it a success and a sensation, right? Right? Yeah? Yeah! There you go. Okay. And you can like, dig, appreciate something, and you can fancy it. There you go. Like, dig, appreciate, and fancy, they all mean you're into it, you enjoy it. Now then, What do we got here? So, there's a rather famous children's book featuring a cat and a hat. Unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure that that cat is wearing a shirt, and I don't remember any of the other elements of that book. I know there's a fish. Fish is not present here, so I don't think that's actually where we're going here. And there are only 3 words that rhyme, so it's not cat, hat, and that. Alas. So, what do we have here? I mean, a button and a sticker are things that you... Interesting. Press? Things having to do with the press? You can press a button. The editor works for a newspaper, which is part of the press. You would iron or perhaps press a shirt. Sticker press? Oh yeah, sticker press is a thing that prints stickers. And again, I'll say, 1 away. Oh. Interesting. Editor, button, shirt, sticker. The fuck? The actual fuck. The actual fuck connections? Okay, so if these 4 are a 1 away grouping, that means that... What's a hat press? What do any of these have to do with... Oh. Campaign swag? I'm sorry. Campaign. I understand button. I understand sticker. If you're doing like an ad campaign or... Okay, when I see campaign swag, I think like an electoral campaign. Like, vote for me. I want to be your city councilman. Vote for Alderman Jones, District 109. Okay, Alderman Jones. I'll totally vote for your re-election. It's not your fault you got embroiled in that imbroglio. How are you supposed to know that Imbroglio Co. Inc. was so crooked? They were only partnering with Crooked Co. It's not your fault that you got embroiled in the imbroglio. Give me a hat. Really? A hat for a campaign? A shirt for a campaign? Does anyone have a Joe Biden 2024 t-shirt? I'm sure the Democratic Party would be happy to pay you to wear them, but still. Anyway. So editor, cat, paste, and that. Words after copy. Okay. Copycat, copy editor, copy paste, copy that. The purple makes more sense than the blue. Your connections are bad connections. Let's calm ourselves with strands. We have good times ahead. It's sunny days, perhaps. No? S-U nowhere? Okay. Did I just see race car? I thought I just saw race car, but no, I did not. I do hear that, though. Let's see here. Something can be pretty. That's good. It can be an animal. Okay. Good times ahead. Animal. Are these Muppets? It doesn't make a ton of sense, but, Okay. Sunny sees Hardy. There we are. Hearty. Okay. That's fair. Hardy animal. Is this like feast? Like you're... No? It doesn't appear to be right. Keep trying to make Voyager happen down here, and it's not happening, so it's a shame for me. This isn't Trove, because there's no E. Fuel. No, wait. It'd help if you spell the word correctly, Goog. After party. Okay. And if you're at a party, you could be a party pooper? Yep. So this is just things having to do with a party. Okay. Party. Oh, party animal, party hardy, party favor, party. Okay, so it's party blank. They're words that come after party. Oh. See, this is a fucking connections category that got made into a Strands game. And it's just better. It's just better. Party boat. Two more of these. Party crasher. Yep. And then party foul. Words that come after party. Good job, Strands. You made a connections that was better than connections. Well done. For today's Immaculate Grid, we need Rockies, A's, Yankees, Atlantans, 100 runs scored in a season, and dudes, what made them an all-star team? A New York Yankee who was an all-star is David Robertson. A Yankee who scored 100 runs in a season is Johnny Damon? He was only there for a few years, and he was only good for a couple of those few years. It's not necessarily wrong, but I don't want to guarantee it. I'm not 100% sure that it's right. Let's just go with a great old Yankee and say Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio probably scored 100 runs in a season for the Yankees one time. Yeah, totally. That works. All right. Yankee who was also an Atlantan is Mike Stanton? Yeah. Mike Stanton, left-handed reliever. He was with the Atlantans, wasn't he? I'm not making that up. I don't think I'm making that up. I was, in fact, not making that up. Good job, Goog. Josh Donaldson would have fit that square. A whole bunch of dudes would have fit that square. Mark Teixeira famously would have fit that square. All right. We need a Colorado Rocky who scored 100 runs in a season. That would be Carlos Gonzalez? And Cargo was a middle-of-the-order slugger type. And he didn't really have that many great dudes. Whenever Goog says I'm not making that up on the grid, Sam gets real nervous because there's a better than decent chance that the Goog is, in fact, making that up. Well, listen, you're not wrong. Jamie Moyer played for the Rockies, but I don't think he played for the Atlantans. So we're not going to be able to deploy Jamie Moyer on today's grid, which is a damnable shame. All right. Hey, I did mention Josh Donaldson, and he was an A. So we'll just drop him in there for that middle left square. That's fine. Rocky who scored 100 runs in a season, you say? Dexter Fowler? I mean, Dexter Fowler was good, but when he was on the Rockies were bad. Although I think he was on the 07 Rockies, and the 07 Rockies made the World Series. And when the Rockies are anywhere decent, they do score a bunch of runs just because they're in Colorado, and that's kind of the whole thing. Dexter Fowler makes a fair bit of sense. Who am I going to say if I don't say Dexter Fowler? Joe DiMaggio was, in fact, a baseball player. He was one of the best and most famous players of the 1940s, basically. You know, when there wasn't a world war happening, Joe DiMaggio was one of the best players in baseball. And then eventually, yes, he went away in that No, I don't think he was dead when they wrote the song, but eventually there was a song that went, "Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio?" etc. Yeah, it's Joe DiMaggio, he baseball player. Oh, let's see here. Fuck it, Dexter Fowler. I've talked myself into logicaling it. Yeah, that works. Nope, not Dexter Fowler. He wasn't on the 2007 Rockies. Neither was Carlos Gonzalez, and yet he fits. Dang it. An Oakland A who scored 100 runs in a season is Ricky Henderson, obviously. A little bit more than that, a little bit more esoteric than that would be a waste of time at this point in our lives. I'm sorry, did I once say oh crap crackers? That does sound like something I would say. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. An Oakland A who was an all-star is Dennis Eckersley. And a Colorado Rocky who was an all-star was, who was that one good pitcher they had? Ubaldo Jimenez? Yeah, Ubaldo Jimenez. There you go. Ubaldo Jimenez, a Rocky who was an all-star. Did anyone ever play for the Rockies and Atlantans? The world may never Andres Galarraga. But beyond that, the world may never know. For you see, it is once again a non-immaculate grid. It is indeed a maculate grid, apparently. Curses. But hopefully, folks, we will be back later tonight. I do have an all-day job scheduled, so if it actually goes all day, I might just be tired and say fuck it. So hopefully we'll be back later tonight for the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Definitely, for those of you who are on YouTube, there will be a new episode of Baldur's Gate 3 that is coming out today. And one way or another, we should be back tomorrow morning for another edition of Good Morning Mini Motorways. Until then, thank you all, as always. Have a wonderful day. And goodbye.